Welcome to Of Light and Form, where we have a quiet space for the soul that's remembering something deeper, a space for you, wherever you are, however you move through the world. Here we reflect, we question, and we open to the mystical parts of ourselves that don't need proof, just our presence. And I am your host, Jade, and today we begin. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into chapter 1 of the book Seth Speaks by Jane Robert. And this is the book that I've been reading, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's not just a book, it's a kind of transmission. And in chapter 1, Seth introduces himself not as a ghost or a god or even a guide, but as a conscious energy, speaking through the author from a realm beyond time. And he says, and I quote, "I do not have a physical body, yet I am writing this book." And that one sentence made me sit with myself and really ask, if I'm not just my body, what else am I? And I used to think this same question when I would hear of someone passing, especially a family member. I'd think, now, what are they going to do? Because preachers would say, the soul waits for God to come back. But that felt too still, too vague. Now I wonder, where does the rest of this person go? What does that soul do? Not just wait, but what moves forward? And there's one line in the chapter that hit me like lightning. And Seth says, and I'm quoting, "You have grown sophisticated enough to realize that the devil is a projection of your own psyche, but you have not grown wise enough to learn how to use your creativity constructively." And when I read that, my whole body paused. Because what if all the things we fear, like failure, rejection, chaos, aren't forces outside of us, but energy that we've misdirected? And from what I've been thinking, I feel like most of the things we fear are projections of other people, mixed with our need for validation, fear of something going wrong, and old programming. That is misdirected energy. I remember something from another transmission by the name of Abraham, and it's from Esther Hicks. And Abraham once said, those negative energies don't need to exist if we're more intentional about the positive energy we allow and direct. Maybe fear, rejection, and chaos do live inside us, but their influences are often amplified by what's outside. And that got me thinking, am I using my imagination to expand or to limit myself? And my answer to this is that my imagination is expanding. The more I read and learn, the more freedom I give it. I'm the type of person that I'm not afraid to imagine. I'm not afraid to dream. But I do think we fall into other people's illusions, and that's what traps us. Our reality can either limit us or free us, depending on how deeply we understand our capacity. Seth also talks about what he calls the inner ego and the outer ego. And this is what I think the two mean. So the outer ego is the part of us that interacts with the world. It's your name, your job, it's your story. And the inner ego is something much deeper. It's it knows it knows things we haven't been taught. It whispers to us through instincts, visions, dreams, and deja vu. And if you've ever felt like there's more to you than meets the eye, more than your role, your past, your reflection, then you've already met that part of yourself. And you're not broken, you're just remembering. And maybe that's why you are here too. And I want to leave you with a soft reflection. And I'll leave you with this. When was the first time you felt like you didn't fully belong to the world around you? And what if that was your soul quietly telling you you came here for something more? So I'll leave you with that to journal and to think about, to sit quietly and think about, or just write it out on a sheet of paper and come back to it. So that's the end of this podcast. And I want to thank you so much for being here with me in this space on this first episode. If this stirred something in you, if this reminded you of something you forgot you knew, send this to someone you care about. And come back when you're ready to go deeper. So this is Of Light and Form, and we will be here. And until then, trust your inner knowing and never forget you are more than you've been taught to believe.